The special meeting of the Annapolis City Council on Friday, June 10th, 2022 will be called to order at 5 p.m. At this time, will you all join us for the invocation given by Alderwoman Pendell Charles, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just ordinary people. The following is what I wrote in 2020 in memory of my brother-in-law who passed away at the age of 72 on the same day as George Floyd. My brother-in-law dropped out of junior high school, was totally illiterate, never worked nor served in the military, hated the police, but he still loved me, got in a lot of fights, used and sold drugs, was imprisoned or in mental institutions for most of his life, was a chain smoker and an alcoholic, suffered from a myriad of health issues, including hepatitis and paranoid schizophrenia, and eventually died of COVID while in Texas. Once he was released, while I sat on this council, we cared for him daily for over 5 years and simultaneously cared for both of my elderly parents who, over their combined lifetimes, volunteered hundreds of thousands of hours in our communities on behalf of a variety of causes. It begs the question, how do we see and care for others? How do we see our budget? Here is what I wrote in my brother-in-law's memory. This is a shortened version. Some people are here to study heart disease in the brain. George Floyd was not. Some people are here to help our families to love and to build environmentally safe communities. Trayvon Martin was not. Some people are here to imitate farm-to-fork agricultural experiences within our urban neighborhoods. Michael Brown Jr. was not. Some people are here as journalists to interview authors of books on slavery, racism, systematic oppression, and poverty. Freddie Gray Jr. was not. Some people are here to provide professional services to those who are suffering with mental illness and substance use disorder. Ahmaud Arbery was not. But some people are here to write treatises about persons who have been imprisoned and are now ready for successful reentries into communities. Breonna Taylor was not. But some people are here as a test. They are here as a test for all of us, a test that all of us must take, and a test that all of us should want to pass. So we are here to take and to pass the test. And they are here as our test to see how we respond to those with heart disease, those who are proponents of helping our families to love and building environmentally safe communities and healthy eating and nutrition, those who provide us with uncomfortable historical facts, those who suffer with mental illness and substance use disorder, and those who have records of imprisonment. Have we taken the test? Have we passed the test? And if so, what grade do we get on the test? There is an old song that is oftentimes sung in our churches entitled, Just Ordinary People. And parts of the secular lyrics go like this: just ordinary people. He uses ordinary people. He then chooses people just like me and you who are willing to do, that will give their all no matter how small your all may seem to you, because little becomes much. What you have may not seem much, but when you yield it, then you will understand how your life could never be the same. The Georges and Trayvons and Michaels and Freddies and Ahmauds and Breonnas of the world were here, and they are still here each and every day to serve as a true reflection of our very souls. They are here every day to serve as our window so that others can look deep inside of us. They are here every day to serve as a mirror that we carry with us each and every day. And they are here each and every day so that we can be living witnesses as we show others why we are here. So as we all must recognize that all lives have meaning and purpose, likewise and equally acknowledging our own imperfections and faults. Who are they? Who are we? Just ordinary people. Amen.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mayor Buckley?
Here.
Alderwoman Tierney?
Here.
Alderwoman O'Neill?
Here.
Alderwoman Pendell Charles?
Here.
Alderwoman Finlayson?
Present.
Alderman Shandell Meyer?
Present.
Alderman Gay?
Here.
Alderman Savage?
Present.
Alderman Arnett?
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the first on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item is approval of the agenda.
This time I entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mayor Buckley?
Aye.
Alderman Shandell Meyer? Aye. Alderman Gay? Aye. Alderman Savage?
Aye.
Alderman Arnett?
Aye.
Alderwoman Tierney?
Aye.
Alderwoman O'Neill?
Aye.
Alderwoman Pendell Charles?
Aye.
Alderwoman Finlayson?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next item.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is petition reports and communications, beginning with update from the mayor.
All right, we have a lot to get through at this meeting, so welcome to the shortest mayor's remarks ever. 3 things I want you to know about, and information about all 3 is available on the city website at www.annapolis.gov. Thing number 1, Juneteenth is next Saturday with a gala, a parade, and a festival. The gala is a ticketed event on Friday, June 17th. The parade is Saturday on June 18th and steps off at noon from City Dock, going up Main Street and over to Maryland Hall. That's what's unique about this festival. The festival immediately follows the parade at Bates Athletics Complex with food, vendors, music and entertainment. The parade and festival don't have an entry fee, so please park at the Navy Stadium for $5 per vehicle and take the free shuttle, which will run from 11 a.m. till the conclusion of the event. I'll be walking with my team in the parade, and I'm inviting the city staff and city council to join us. We are number 10 in the lineup, and city staff needs to be at City Dock by 11:30 next Saturday. I live 3 minutes away. I'll be there 3 minutes before. So, I'd like to remind everyone that city offices will be closed on Juneteenth on Monday, June 20th. The Pip Moyer Centre will be open, but Stanton will be closed. Trash pickup will not be affected, and Annapolis Transit will operate on a regular schedule. Thing number 2, on June 24th, in partnership with Maryland Hall, we will be giving Eastbourne and raised writer and producer Rodney Barnes a key to the city. Rodney grew up here, went to local schools, attended Howard University, and then went to Hollywood to follow his passion. He got a writing job on My Wife and Kids in the 1990s, became a graphic novelist, including the series Philadelphia, became a producer on Boondocks and other TV series, produced award shows, including BET and the Oscars, and most recently wrote and executive produced the HBO series Winning Time, about the Los Angeles Lakers and the Magic Johnson story. There's a lot of accomplishments here. It's a ticketed event. They'll be screening one of those shows. The tickets for Maryland Hall are free, so please go online to find out about that. And thing number 3, on June 28th, we will be hosting a wreath-laying ceremony at the Guardians Memorial at 9:30 a.m. Everyone in the city of Annapolis is familiar with what happened in our city on June 28th. With the families of the victims, as well as the newsroom and public safety survivors. The public are invited to attend. Afterwards, we will return to City Hall for light refreshments and the unveiling of a tribute painting by local artist Mark Perea that was donated to the city. With the epidemic of gun violence we're witnessing in this nation, this solemn remembrance is an opportunity for our community to come together. So we hope to see you all there. So now let's carry on with the meeting. Mr. City Attorney.
Yes, sir. The next item is reports by committee.
Any of you more? Alderman Channemeyer?
Economic Matters will be meeting next Wednesday at 6:30.
Alderman Neal?
The Transportation Committee met on Wednesday, and we had a presentation by VIA that was very informative. And the next Transportation Committee meeting on July the 10th, Wednesday, I believe it's the 10th, we'll have a presentation by the BIRD folks to talk about the data that they've collected so far.
Thank you. Alderman Tierney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Finance Committee will not be meeting this week due to the MML. We won't have a quorum, but that's okay. And we're going to reschedule to be determined. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Finlayson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Rules and City Government Committee will be meeting on the 24th Friday at 2 p.m. here in council chambers. All are invited. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Pindell Charles.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Public Safety Committee meeting met last week. We will be submitting 2 names for the Pension Commission, and also we will have we scheduled to have a July meeting, but it will not be July the 4th, the first Monday, so I'll have to get with Ms. Green for another date. But also the initiative, Annapolis United, is coming along very well. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Alderman Annette.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Audit Committee will be meeting on Tuesday, the 21st. Its normal meeting would have been the 20th, but that's a holiday.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you all. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item is comments by the general public.
Anybody here to speak? So, seeing no motion in the chamber, I declare comments by the general public closed. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next item on the agenda.
Yes, the next item is appointments, and there are several. First, reappointment of David DeQuinzio, AP 2522.
Was it okay to move them as a block, Mr. City
I
Attorney?
was going to make that motion that we approve them as a block.
Well, let me read them, so we can do that.
Thank
The appointments are reappointment of David DeQuinzio to the Transportation Board, AP 2522. Reappointment of Carol Kelly to the Transportation Board, AP 2622. Reappointment of Elizabeth Dolezal to the Transportation Board, AP 2722. Reappointment of Kurt Rigel to the Transportation Board, AP 2822. Appointment of Taylor Waters to the Transportation Board, AP 2922. The appointment of John Giannetti Jr. to the Transportation Board, AP 3022. And the reappointment of John Wardell to the Police and Fire Retirement Commission, AP 3122. The reappointment of Kathy Sulick to the Police and Fire Retirement Commission, AP 3322.
Can I get a second for that?
Second.
Thank you. Second? Yeah, thank you. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next item on the agenda.
The next item is the,
Can we clap at least? It's a lot of people.
I want to thank everybody for that, too.
the next item is approval of the consent calendar.
Second.
Is that a roll call? Okay. Alderman Gay?
Is this awarding them the bid to tow video cars on behalf of the city, or?
Yeah, they work with, they're renewing their license. They're on a list with the police department. It's just their annual renewal. They've been doing it for 5 years plus.
Okay. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mayor Buckley?
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Meyer? Aye. Alderman Gay? Aye. Alderman Savage?
Aye.
Alderman Arnett?
Aye.
Alderman Tierney?
Aye.
Alderwoman O'Neill?
Aye.
Alderwoman Pindell Charles?
Aye.
Alderwoman Finlayson?
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is the legislative actions, beginning with first readers, beginning with R 3422, Hurricane Ida, Small Business Financing, Lily's Printing LLC.
Is there a motion to adopt R-34-22 on first reader?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I would be greatly appreciative if we could have this pass first and second reader this evening. We're still trying to complete all the businesses that were affected by Hurricane Ida.
So is that a suspend the rules? Or is it?
Yes, you need a motion to suspend the rules, pass on second reader.
Okay, so motion to suspend the rules now?
No, you got it.
Motion to suspend.
Or do we adopt it on first read?
Wouldn't it be,
Point of order, we have to adopt on first reader first.
Right.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. First reader. Opposed? Thank you. Could I get a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. So we just go straight on to second reader now?
Yes, sir.
You got a motion for it on second reader?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. And it's a roll call?
Yes, sir. Mayor Buckley?
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Meyer?
aye.
Alderman Gay?
Aye.
Alderman Savage.
Aye.
Alderman Arnett.
Aye.
Alderwoman Tierney.
Aye.
Alderwoman Pendle.
Aye.
Alderwoman O'Neill.
Aye.
Alderwoman Pendle Charles.
Aye.
Alderwoman Finlayson.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you all so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The city attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item is R 3922, use and deputization of the mayor's personal vessel for government use.
Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I'm going to say a few words here. I want the public to know that not one city dollar or taxpayer dollar was spent on this boat. Not one city taxpayer dollar will be spent to operate this boat. I use my own vehicle. I use my own boat. Thank you to the City Council for understanding my process. For the next 4 years, we will be diligently working on water access and water mobility for the city. I ask anyone in the public that would like to come out with me and see the different initiatives that we're working on, from College Creek, Paddle Park, to Hawkins Cove, to the city dock, to Back Creek, to Ellen Moyer Park, to Cars Beach. The multiple things that we're working on in terms of water access and mobility. And then beyond that, as we connect out to the county, I ask people to come with me and see what we're going to be doing at David Taylor Center, potentially Greenbury Point, Holly Beach Farm, all these mobility issues. Using the water that we live on as a way to get around is a huge priority for us. That is why I purchased, with my own money, a municipal vessel, a looking vessel, and I look forward to putting it to work for the next 4 years, and I appreciate all of your support. Thank you. Alderman Gay.
Thank you. I'm just wondering why the city wouldn't purchase its own boat to use for advertising of the Chesapeake Bay and Jewels of the Water, etc.
Yeah. That's, I don't think I could really sell the city buying the boat. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All those in favour on first reader, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you all. Mr. City Attorney, please present next on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is O3722, Arts in Public Places, Arts Fund Appropriation by Council.
Is there a motion to adopt O37-22 on first reader?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. I'd like to refer O-37-22 to the Finance Committee. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next items on the agenda are second readers, beginning with R2322, fiscal year 2023 fees schedule.
Can I just say something at
Yes.
this point? I just want to say at this point, you already adopted all of your amendments. So the only thing there are amendments if they have to be adopted, and then we go from there. So you don't have to adopt this on second reader. It's been done at the last meeting.
Point of information, I'm not hearing all of what you said.
What I'm saying is that you started adopting your amendments to these budget-related legislation at your last meeting. So now we're at the point where we're still adopting the amendments that are necessary from the Finance Department.
So there are new amendments coming from the Finance Director?
Only for the ordinance, only for O-1522, not for these resolutions.
Okay.
So they're ready to be adopted as amended.
So, Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve R23 as amended.
Can I ask a question? For the fee schedules, are we going to adopt the schedules? Because I know you just did them today, right?
The resolution 2322 adopts the fee schedule.
Are they uploaded to did we get them back from Katie?
So we don't do, just like in the ordinance with the strikeouts and the clean schedule, there's no clean schedule yet.
Okay.
We'll do that once we pass it tonight, then we'll issue a clean schedule.
Okay. So basically, we don't need to do the amendments, we just need to adopt on second reader.
So this is the
as
ones that we
amended.
passed the other day, and then we're going to adopt them now. Everybody clear on that?
So my
And then we have
motion
a
is to
motion
approve as
to
amended
amend.
from the meeting on Monday.
There's a motion and a second.
Okay. And is that a roll call or is that just a vote?
It's just a vote.
Okay, all those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Thank you. Motion to adopt it as amended.
Okay, so basically we just
Did we do that?
adopted
Sorry,
as
okay, sorry,
amended on
I'm-
second reader, and we should do a roll call. I'm sorry, I was
That-
wrong.
thank
You were right, I was wrong. Okay, so Mayor Buckley,
Aye.
Alderman Shandell Meyer.
Nay.
Okay, let me write this down. Alderman Gay.
Aye.
Alderman Savage.
Aye.
Alderman Arnett.
Aye.
Alderwoman Tierney.
Aye.
Alderwoman O'Neill.
Aye.
Alderman Pendle Charles.
Aye.
Alderwoman Finlayson.
Aye.
So that carries with 1 no.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
The next item on the agenda is our 24-22 fiscal year 2023 fines schedule. This is the same kind of motion to adopt as amended.
So move.
I'd like to move adoption on second reader as amended.
Second.
We've got a second.
That's a roll call. So Mayor Buckley,
Aye.
Alderman Shandell Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Gay,
Aye.
Alderman Savage,
Aye.
Alderman Arnett,
Aye.
Alderwoman Tierney,
Aye. Aye.
Alderwoman O'Neill,
Aye.
Alderman Pendle Charles,
Aye.
Alderwoman Finlayson.
Aye.
Thank you. And that passes 2.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is R 3122, position classifications and pay plan.
Okay, now do we need to adopt this?
This is it. As amended.
Yes, the scales are not, are part of the union agreement, so I don't know.
Is it a jack?
I don't know. I thought it was a
I
jack.
might get some clarification if I can from Director Dickinson or.
I like Trish's dress.
Yes. There is some of it. That's okay.
Sure, please come forward, Trish.
Tricia Hopkins, Human Resources Manager. So you do have the amendment with the pay scale for FY23. What you do not have is the amended position summary for FY23. We've been before the Civil Service Board to adopt 8 new titles to go with reclassifications, some retitling of some existing positions, and some new positions.
Alderman Savage?
Yeah, I do see on on the agenda, it's FY23 position summary initial report, May of 2020. Is that what you're referring to, or?
So
I'm just wondering if maybe it's listed one place and not the other.
you've got the scale, and you had the position summary in a different email when we were balancing things. So I don't think you have the amendments that I've provided for that, and I don't want you to vote on something that doesn't include them because we did some work here, like the accounts board. Let me resend it to you.
So we consider this on the 27th when we
I
consider the
can
union
send it
contract?
to all of you. Is that appropriate?
Can,
Appropriate? Okay.
can I ask a question, an informational question? Are there 2 separate amendments, one with the positions and one with the pay plans?
Should I send it to?
Just waiting.
I'm
Are there
sorry.
2 separate amendments, one with the positions and one with the pay plans? Okay, so while you're looking for that email, I wonder about addressing the amendment with the pay scales before you approve the collective bargaining agreements on your next meeting, because those pay scales are developed along with those collective bargaining agreements. So I'm not sure legally if we would want to vote and pass on that amendment now or wait.
So shall I leave this off? It wasn't moved, was it?
Postpone it until the next meeting.
Yeah.
And we should have them by then, right?
So nobody moved it though, did we?
So can we just make a motion to postpone it until the next
Well,
city council?
if I don't bring it up, we don't have to do anything. do we?
You don't have physical copies of the amendments yet either.
Right,
So it wasn't moved.
right.
I could just
Postpone it.
Address
Just
it.
postpone it till the next meeting.
motion to postpone.
Postpone until the 27th of June.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Can I get a second for that?
Second.
Thank you. All with us. We're postponing R-3122 till, what date was that, sorry? June?
27th of June.
27th of June.
So
Okay.
in its entirety, it isn't prudent to move the base legislation? We're okay? I guess I'm looking at the finance director. We're
So I want to pause here because the code may have language about passing a pay plan at the same time as the budget. So I want to make sure that we've studied this before we rush forward and delay it till next meeting.
Do you want to take a few minutes to consider it?
I'll ask the Office of Law to look at the code and see, because I know they're supposed to be done together. I don't know if there's any effect of passing a pay plan after the budget's struck.
We'll look at the code now. Begging their council's indulgence.
We've got a few minutes. We're flying through things here. Model of efficiency.
Don't jinx us.
Still can get those happy hour prices till 7.
Yeah, I was just thinking that the budget should have a pay scale when passed, so I didn't know if we should just, default to the 2022.
So I wasn't here 4 years ago, but I believe that when they did the pay plan with the budget, they had the old, remember the collective bargaining agreements weren't struck until July.
Right.
But we kept the old scales in place until the collective bargaining agreements were approved.
Right.
And right now, part of that original resolution that has the pay plan in it, I think we attached the existing pay scales. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tricia?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Okay, so that has the existing pay scales in it. So tonight, you could consider an amendment with the new positions, the new position gradings and descriptions. That's one amendment. And then adopt the pay plan as is with the existing pay scales and the new position descriptions. And then later, we'd have to amend the pay plan with the new scales, and we could do that at the next meeting. But I don't think we can proceed with a budget without an existing pay plan in place.
Oh, I'm sorry, I keep talking. Resolution 31-22 does include, it's that the fiscal year 2023 position classifications and pay plan are attached to this resolution and shall become effective July 1st,
Microphone on.
2022.
Ellie,
So they're included in the
Ellie,
base
is
resolution.
your microphone on?
Sorry.
Sorry.
What?
Is your microphone on? So
It's on, yeah.
We can, since those new descriptions and the grades, that list of positions, does not depend on the pay scale. We can do one without the other tonight. Right, so the question is, do they have the amendment in front of them?
I don't have any,
So we'll
way to
let-
get it to them.
Let's just do it next month.
I think we'll let the city attorney just check into it, but it seems like a good plan to pass it and amend it at the next meeting, right? Yeah.
I don't have any way of looking at it.
Did you send it to all of us or just to? I sent it to Regina for distribution to all of you.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't from here.
It's
Can
too.
we, from over there?
just sent it, you should get one, everybody should get one.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, it's just in it, okay.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, let's look at it on our phone. That's great.
Just a few more minutes as the city attorney's just checking.
Okay, so there is no requirement that the budget include the pay plan or the position classifications, that it be done at the same time as the budget. The section that refers to this is 3.12.070, pay plan, and all it says is the pay plan shall become effective upon the date the council adopts the pay plan. It does not give any limitation to the council to deal with this today, and it also doesn't preclude or prevent the council from passing whatever's in front of you today.
Sounds like a plan.
So if you have the amendments in front of you, or even if you don't, you can pass something and amend it later. There's no date restriction on it at all, and there's no requirement that it be linked to something else, not even a budget.
I haven't looked.
Okay, so Alderman Annette and Alderman Finlayson.
So we don't have the amendments, and if we pass it today, we're going to be doing it with the 22 pay scale, not the 23. So then we're going to have to come back next week or sometime and put in the 23, which it seems to me would be consistent with after we've approved the union contracts, which we're scheduled to do on the 27th. We would also approve the 23 pay scale, and we'd have time to actually review the eight amendments, Trish? 8 amendments.
8 positions on the list of positions that have
Right.
changed.
And Alderman Arnett, those are highlighted on the position summaries real quick. You can easily find them because they're in highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
we
think
have a motion
We'll just
and
go
a
ahead
second.
and vote
Yeah.
on it. So I need a motion to move 31-22.
You have that motion already?
The motion
And
is
seconded.
postpone it.
Yeah.
And second.
The motion to postpone is on the floor. It's been seconded.
So we're going to vote that down, and then we're going to vote. No?
I'm not.
Aren't we? Aren't you saying we could vote on this now, right?
Yes, there's no restriction on what you want to do with it.
If you vote on it as is, oh, you mean they could do the amendments tonight with the new pay scale?
If you have them, they have them. I don't know if they have them in front of them.
They have them in their email. I don't know if you call that in front of them or not. There, it's in your
Yeah,
email.
they could take a
They
few
are
moments to review it. If
attached.
they want to review them now, they can do that.
They're attached.
There's no limits, there's no quarantining necessary in this particular situation. It depends on what the council wants to do.
Jody, could you finish your sentence?
Alderman Chandler.
Alderwoman Finlayson.
Oh, sorry, Alderman Finlayson. I apologize.
Thank you. Are we talking about the amendment that deals with, it's the last one that's listed attached to our legislation, the position classifications and pay plan?
That is actually the fiscal note, the revised fiscal note after we.
So which one of these items are we referring to with the 8 positions? Because that's what we're talking about.
So that's been sent to you by email because it's not attached.
It's not attached.
Yeah.
It's not on Legistar.
So
Hasn't been uploaded yet.
since it's not attached, could we pass what we have in front of us and then come back with a resolution for the next meeting that includes that amendment? Or it doesn't have to be an amendment then, it can be the original.
So what's posted publicly now is the existing pay plan, which the existing pay scales and the existing position descriptions. And I believe what the attorney is saying is we don't have to act on this tonight. We could just wait till the next meeting and pass both amendments with the new information on it.
So Jody, just to clarify, Ms. Dickinson, what to clarify is that both the FY 22 scale is here, and they've attached the FY 23 scale to the list of amendments online as well.
It is online?
They're both there, yeah. And so are all the bargaining units agreements and the summary, which really were to go to.
Are they attached to the
They are-
CBA resolution?
They're on 3122.
Hold on.
So I'm going to go back to the city attorney just for clarification, because I might have heard something different to what you heard. I thought we could vote on it today because there were no restrictions. And Alderman Annette is saying,
Well, technically, you received R3122, and then there was an amendment. And the amendment included the 8 new positions.
And there's an amendment with the pay plan out there, correct? Or no amendment, just the scales?
But the scales, before the amendment, you had a fully, clear pay plan and classification, minus 8 positions.
Based on FY 22.
Based on my view,
Based on FY '22.
right. But the pay plan was for 23. It just didn't include the 8 new positions. That's the amendment.
Or the new pay scales.
Well, the new pay scales are only for what? The 8 positions?
No, everybody.
So what's the amendment for?
There are 2 amendments. Okay. I thought there were 2 amendments. Are there? 2 amendments to 3122.
One is posted, that's the
FY 23 scale is posted. What did not get posted was the position summary for FY
But is
23
it
that was
amendment?
amended with the 8
It just says
positions that I
it's a pay
spoke
scale.
of.
Right,
That's been emailed.
That's my point.
Yeah.
The R3122 couldn't be an FY22 scale. It had to be an FY23 scale. That's why it's R3122.
But it says
No.
22 right here.
Okay, so let me clarify. When we first introduced R3122, we didn't have pay scales. We didn't have position descriptions. So we introduced a version that looks exactly like last year. Okay, so then we were going to bring with amendments, here are the new positions, and here are the new pay scales. The pay scales are posted online with your agenda. But I thought that had to come in the form of an amendment. Is that true?
Yes, it does have to come in the
Come in
form
the
of
form of an amendment. I
But
see
the
the pay
council,
scales.
if the council is reviewing it, someone needs to tell the council what is being amended, and if it's in front of them, they can review it, consider it, and potentially vote on it or not.
Correct. And there's a second amendment, which you didn't have until just now, that lists those 8, it's all the positions listed, and the ones highlighted are new positions. So it's your decision if you want to amend tonight and consider these and amend tonight, or wait.
so
And just one last point. The FY23 pay scale that you have reflects the CBA documents, the CBA agreements, which you have not yet ratified, but they're still reflected in the FY23 pay scale. So you have that. You don't have you now have the other amendment that lists the 8 additional job descriptions that we're adding. So both of those would have to be voted on, I think, by amendment. So again, we can do that tonight if you'd like, or we can postpone it for 2 weeks until we do the collective bargaining agreements. It's your choice.
I've got a few hands up, so I'm going to go Alderman Turney, then Alderman Savage are the hands I saw
Yeah.
first, and then Chandelmeyer, and then Annette.
I strongly support waiting because the attachments as they're presented to us tonight are in duplication, and we would have to recess and restructure it into an amendment. So it's flawed what we're looking at tonight. So I would support postponing the pay scale as an amendment. I think it's exactly what Alderman Arnett and Alderwoman Finlayson said.
Okay. Alderman Savage?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a compelling reason to do it tonight. It just seems like things aren't quite worked out as much as they should be at this point for this. So, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to call a question on this.
I'll save us some time.
Motion.
Okay, we've got a motion, a second, call the question. All those in favour of the postponement, just say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, please present the next item on the agenda.
Yes, sir. The next item on the agenda is O-1522, Annual Budget and Appropriation and Property Tax Levy.
Okay. Before we start on this, or actually, should someone move this first, please?
I'd like to move O-1522 on third reader.
Sorry.
We have an amendment. We have an amendment.
Just like Jody has something
So we
to
just
say
have to move the amendment, that's it? Or, okay.
So we don't need to move it as amended?
We're gonna move this amendment possibly, and then see what happens.
First thing we need
So
to do,
can't we adopt it on second reader as amended, and then then we'll have a chance to amend it again if we need to before it gets to third reader?
Well, after you adopt it as amended, you can
let's-
reconsider it.
Because it has to go through three readers anyway.
Right.
Yes, you have an amendment in front of you, and you can do what other amendments you wish, but you got one proposed amendment, 48.
47.
And then once, and
And I'm going to go to Director Dickinson to just give some clarification for the
Yes.
two options, right?
Right.
and then once
So,
those amendments are approved, then you can vote on them.
And before you go there, for the general public, we have always funded Methodist Church. We continue to want to fund that. It's just about how we get the money there, right? So we strongly appreciate what that organisation does for the community. We want to continue to fund them, and we will be doing it. It's just some semantics here, and hopefully we can get it sorted out here with
all right, so let me,
Just, I'm not clear on where we are.
I was going to explain the amendments that are here.
Well, I'm not, my question isn't about the amendments, just where did we leave it last time? I'm just trying to get an idea of the process.
You just adopted amendments. You never attached them to the
Okay.
legislation by adopting them as amended. You're still in the process of adding amendments.
Okay. I didn't know we could do that, but okay.
Director Dickinson will just explain what you're proposing, and then I can go to the council after that.
Okay, so you have in front of you Amendment 47. And Amendment 47 is what we typically call the balancing amendment, because many of the amendments that you passed on Monday all affected the same line item. So we have to accumulate the intent of the council and set the totals and the subtotals and the grand totals within the ordinance and the appendices to the correct total amounts. And so this amendment before you, 47, does that. Now, we drafted this, remember, after our conversation about the community grant and Eastport United Methodist Church, you were going to consider giving back the $5,000 to that organization with the balancing amendment. Amendment 47 does not include that add back. So if you pass this, the church will not be allocated a community grant at this time. If you vote this down, there is an Amendment 48 that we have drafted that is the same thing, balancing the numbers, the totals, the subtotals, but adding back the $5,000 for Eastport United Methodist Church. So you're going to do either 47 or 48.
So,
I will go to Alderman Finlayson because it's more relevant to her than.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is sponsored by Mr. Mayor. So he can withdraw this amendment and we can move 48 if we choose to fund the Eastport Church.
Or you can vote on this one and vote it down and consider 48.
Okay. So, Mr. Mayor, you can withdraw this one and we can support 48 if the consensus,
We don't need to do anything with that. Nobody moved it yet.
okay. Well, it's the mayor's. That's why I was questioning him.
He
It's
he can do what.
his amendment.
It's clearly the will of the council and the will of all of us to get the money to the organisation, right? So we have an opinion, which I support that opinion, but obviously know what the will of the council is here, and we're willing to ride that. Let's all ride it together.
So I would move Amendment 48.
Okay.
Which we need to get.
We were going to consider 47 first and then pass out 48 if we needed it.
But you have it. Katie has, Ms. Conley has it in her
We do
hand,
have
I
a
can tell.
physical copy ready.
Definitely spoke too soon about us sailing
It's
through.
amazing.
We're still doing pretty
I
good.
jinxed us.
We're doing
I
pretty
still want to move 48.
Thank you.
I have a question.
I have a question, Calvin.
Do you have to, oh,
That was really prepared. While you're looking at that, let's go to Alderman Tyranny, and then
Yeah,
to
this is sort of
Alderman
a point of information, and I know that Alderman Savage has the same question. This amendment, whether it's 47 or 48, is basically the mother lode. I mean, we have three components of the budget, attachment A, B, and C, or whatever, and this amends those attachments. I get that. This is, as I say, the mother lode. However, what vehicle did we approve in document control, I guess, the amendments that we discussed? This is the vehicle that we what did we do last meeting? Somebody else can answer that.
yes, every amendment that you considered at the last meeting.
Correct.
Changed the numbers in the ordinance. This is called a balancing amendment.
Well, what would those go back? I'm so sorry, but did we pass them on first reader? Did we pass them on second reader? That's what
You considered and passed or defeated on second reader.
Okay, on second reader.
So here are some more amendments for second reader.
So we're still on a second reader platform. And so to Alderman Savage's point, why can't we progress to third reader eventually?
I don't know that it matters. I'm not sure what the differentiation
we're
is,
anal
but that's
why.
Can I just say something?
Am I
At the point we are
overcomplicating?
at now, we have to adopt a corrective amendment.
Correct.
You have to do that because all of your amendments fit in the budget, like Jody said, in different places. So this amendment incorporates everything you adopted at your last meeting, right?
Got it.
So you have to do this because it changed the budget around. So this is your last amendment that we thought you were going to adopt today.
Correct.
And then once you approve this one, we're going to adopt as amended on second reader. And then the next vote is the third reader with the roll call that will actually adopt the budget.
Okay. I think with all the discussion at the last meeting, I didn't know all the amendments had progressed to second reader, so, okay.
So I'll clarify that what these amendments do is for any line item that had several amendments on it, like the appendices with the reserve for one-time uses, I mean, that was added to several times.
Right.
So when we have to see what the grand total is over here, after we've added up all the amendments, here's what the grand total should be in Appendix C for the reserve for one-time uses. Then we do a review to see if everything balances. Are the expenditures equal to the revenues, and do the appendices tie to the ordinance and everything like that? That's what this is. But if you will notice, at the bottom of 48, the second one, we have added changes to Appendix E, Eastport United Methodist Church, giving them back the $5,000. And the description of that amendment includes the Eastport Community Grant. So that's what's different between these two amendments, the Eastport Grant.
Thank you. Alderman Pindell Charles is next.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I'd like to say I have no problem with giving money to a church. They do great work. My fear is that with Eastport United Methodist Church, and I know the young lady that they say will be doing the work, she's wonderful. My fear is that we're going to be setting a precedent. Next year, we don't know if another church is going to come along. And if we pass this, we're going to have to continually pass the next one and the next one and the next one. Like I said, I've got no problem. I know that church does great work. And the person who's going to do the work is a wonderful person. Been knowing her since 4th grade. But that's a question, I guess, or a comment to our city attorney. Is that correct? We're setting a precedent if we pass this.
I withhold comment, ma'am.
I didn't catch that.
I have no comment on that.
Thank you. So next up, Alderman Shanamar, then Alderman Gay, and then I'll go down the line to Alderman Arnett.
I don't know if we have an issue with precedent, because haven't we given churches money before? So the precedent's already established. We appear to have found a way to do this without violating constitutional concerns, and we've done it before. I do not see the hurdle.
Thank you. Alderman Gay.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Appendix B, why in line 2, why are we striking 35,000 and substituting 100,000?
I'm sorry, can you ask that question again?
Appendix B, line 2, it says strike 35,000 and substitute 100,000.
Because we added 70,000, was it 70,000 to the APD substance use disorder?
Wouldn't that be 105?
I'm sorry, it should be what? It should be what?
105,000.
Okay, so there's an error in both amendments. So I think we're going to fix them now, and we're going to give you a reprinted copy.
Amendment 49.
We've been discussing it without
So you can continue to... So the question is 47 or 48?
Or 49.
The question is 47 or 48, and I don't know if you want to continue to discuss that issue while we fix that other error.
Okay, I was going to go to Alderman Arnett and then Alderman Pindell Charles. Sorry, I didn't know.
So I was comfortable at our last meeting when we heard from the Community Grants Committee that the materials that were actually submitted by the United Methodist Church did show a clear separation. We haven't seen those. Alderman Gay said there was an email that showed that. If you read the editorial in the Capitol, and other attorneys have, it does sound very much like the person is an employee of the church. And I'm very hard pressed, even though it's in my community and they're doing very good work, to ignore the city attorney's counsel. I mean, that's a very tough call. And I do think, obviously we've ignored city attorney's counsel over the years, not just this one, but many of them.
It's not personal.
It's our best thing, postponement and ignoring advice from our counsel. But I had hoped that we were going to get the actual supporting materials from the committee. My remembrance from the last meeting was that later on, after we passed the budget and we had had a chance to review those materials, we could come back and find $5,000 out of a contingency fund or something like that. Once it's shown that there is a legitimate separation between church funds and state funds. In other words, like the Heritage Baptist Backpack Program is a distinctly separate entity from the church. So I worry that we ought to go through the process of seeing what was actually submitted and even possibly giving the opportunity to correct their submission rather than ignore what is a pretty fundamental constitutional principle. So I find myself in a very awkward position with this.
Just going to go to the city manager before I go to Alderman Del
Very,
Shalom.
very briefly, so I just sent the email from Erin Lee along with the application that the church submitted, so she can send that out to everybody. I'll send that out.
Alderman Pendel Charles.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In response to Alderman Shandelmeyer, and maybe I'm confused, my understanding, and I could be wrong, based on our prior distributions for our community grants, was that those who did not have a 501c3 nonprofit within a certain, and I'm going to use that number loosely because I'm not sure, there's several different entities, that was a specific designation which led to a vehicle in which we could give the money to. Now, I could be wrong. I didn't think that Eastport United Methodist Church came under one of those vehicles. Am I incorrect?
The 501c3 as the vehicle, the only answer that I know for sure is the Eastport Methodist did not have a 501c3. I don't know if we can give only with that or only without it. I don't know the past history. Oh, sorry. I should turn this mic on. As I was saying, the only one I know statement that I can accurately say is Eastport United does not have a 501c3. The others, I don't remember or know the past history of if we have given to them or not. I think we have. If someone can very confidently say, no, you are wrong, Brooks, we have only given to 501c3s, then I will stand down, but.
And I'm not saying the 501c3, there's several vehicles on the nonprofit side of the ledger. I'm just using that as a loose term. That's been my understanding all along, like I could be wrong.
I have no confident answer either way.
I don't know.
Mr. City Manager, what you just sent out to the council, does that spell anything out for us?
No.
No.
No, I can't see it.
So if I could just summarize what Erin Lee, so Erin Lee chaired the committee that reviewed and prioritized and make recommendations on the grants. So she said, according to the Eastport United Methodist Church application, they were requesting funds to continue to employ a community navigator, expand after-school programming, and to advocate from within the low-income community for long-term solutions for food security, violence prevention, medical care, and improved educational learning.
And would we make the check out to they've got a national 501c3, don't they? That's what I thought. And
I do not know personally.
we can't make the check out to the church is the hold-up, right? I'm going to go to Alderman Finlay, Senator, had a hand up, then back across.
I just wanted to speak to past practice. And past practice, we have given to churches. There have been any number of faith-based groups that have gotten community grants over the years. And I think if the finance department were to do the research, they would find that those groups did not have 501c3s. I believe this is the first year that this issue has been brought to us. So, and traditionally, we have had all of the nonprofits come before either the finance committee or the council. And so we had an opportunity to ask questions about their programs and their organizations. We didn't do that this year. But I can tell you that there have been many faith-based groups that have gotten grants over my 16 years sitting here.
Thank you. So I'm going to go to Alderman Savage, Alderman Arnett, and then Alderman O'Neill. Right.
This is thoroughly confusing. I'm wondering. I'm wondering if we just maybe shouldn't take action on the church issue right now and just pass Amendment 47. Because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but couldn't we just do some kind of transfer later on down the road if this gets sorted out? To give them
If you
the
were to
money?
consider 47 without the grant to the church, later on in the fiscal year, you could give them extra money, yes.
'Cause I feel like I also feel like we need to talk with our community grants commission or committee, whatever it is that have reviewed this. But I think moving forward, we'll need to brief them on whatever requirements what they need to look out for as far as this legal issue with churches, to make sure that, they're giving us the appropriate group, that they're going to spend the money on the appropriate thing. But at this stage in the game, I just feel like we should just pass this and we'll deal with it. I guess I think we need to sort it out, have more of a discussion about how to proceed with this legally. And I don't think we're going to do it on a Friday afternoon, evening.
If that's a motion, I'll second it. And then I'd like to speak to it.
I think Alderman Arnett first. We still have this.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, but if he's made a motion, I've seconded it.
I'll move that postpone. Well, actually, the 48 was never introduced, so I would instead move the corrected 47 when that's ready.
Second.
So could I now speak to that?
Please.
Each of us received a packet of information from all of the nonprofits. And either the first or second page within that packet outlines the requirements. So we have them. Now, whether they've changed over the years, I can't speak to that. But we have the requirements along with all the nonprofits that were given. And the committee changes. This is the first year Ms. Lee was given this responsibility. And I'm sure she hopes it's the last time she has this responsibility.
Thank you. While that's open, Alderman O'Neill, did you?
I'm going to say ditto because I was going to suggest what Alderman Savage said.
Okay, thank you. Katie, you far off on the correction?
I'm sorry,
So go ahead.
We were going to correct 47.
Well, there's a dollar amount error in it.
So which I would need to I'm going to do amendment 49, which is duplicating 47, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then fixing the issue with the grants. If I could just have 5 minutes for that, please.
Yeah, we're going to need to check these and print them and stuff before you vote on either.
We're not going to move any of those. We're just going to move 49, right?
But does 49 do the church and make the?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Just 47.
Yeah.
It's 47.
I can,
47 with the dollar fix.
okay, hold on. What's 49?
Katie just said 49, so.
47 plus
47.
Plus the $5,000 correction.
Let me ask a question.
That Alderman gave.
Do we have to give it a new amendment number?
Katie just said that. That's the only reason I said it.
I'm asking,
No, we
No.
haven't.
yeah, we
Let's
haven't introduced anything for a
47,
vote yet.
$1,000.
We're just talking about,
Yeah,
That's what I was.
yeah. All right. So you've made a motion.
That's
to
what I moved
introduce-
for 47.
And I, Yes,
Okay.
right, yes.
47 is still on the floor.
Yeah.
And it's been seconded.
Amended 47 is on the floor, yeah. Alderman Tierney, then Alderman Arnett. We got time to talk while they're working this out.
They're not,
No, on 47, just, I just want to make sure I have the right page. You referenced at the bottom.
So I don't know if your mic is on, but I can't hear you very well.
That's because my mic's not on. Okay, on in amendment number 47 in Appendix A, just at the very last sentence, you say in line 221, strike, you say in line 221, strike 100,000, 100,434 and substitute da-da-da-da-da. I don't,
You can
my
take-
book says 220, and that's all.
Because in the amendments,
32.
we had to add a line item.
Oh,
correct?
okay.
That's, so the grand total moved down.
Okay.
Certain things shifted down.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
could be have something off. My question is,
Yeah.
the amendment 47 ends with the word "and."
You can buy that plan for
Okay.
$10,000.
No,
And they can build it for
Correct. And then my second part of that is just refresh my memory in Appendix C, in line 10 at whatever, the intergovernmental fund revenues, they went from 16.8 million to 17.7 million, rounding up. Why?
That's where the ARPA monies are categorized in the revenues. They're in the intergovernmental revenues.
Okay.
So that is the net, the total change in the
Got it.
use of the ARPA monies.
Okay, okay. And then last question is, in this one-time fund bucket of money, where is it now reflected, the revised?
So
Where do
it
you
would be Appendix C. Hold on, let me find it. Appendix C, line 16. It's at, instead of 2797800, it's 4422900.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, and you're going to revise those pages in the final book, right? I know, I'm so anal.
I definitely spoke too soon. Alderman Arnett?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We now have Amendment 47 introduced and seconded. I would make a motion to correct Amendment 47 under Appendix B to recognize the error that Alderman Gay saw. So we, instead of substituting,
Alderman Arnett has the floor.
it says substitute for 100,000. I believe that should be 100,000.
We are, as we speak, printing the corrected amendment. So you can
So
see
a
the
new
numbers that need to change here.
So it'll be a new 47?
Yes.
Okay.
And if we can give you a new printed 47 without
Okay.
the mistake in it, okay.
Okay,
All right.
yes.
So we'll hold up on that.
So it's still 47, just 47 correct.
Correct, 47. Technical correction.
Who wants to go for a bird ride after this? Get some scooters, zip up and down.
So
Wrong way against traffic. Yeah.
if I could just share some information about that amendment that has the error in it, the one that Alderman Gay brought up. Remember, that was the general fund giving 70,000 to the grant fund. The only thing that had the mistake in it was the Appendix B. Everything else that we did in that amendment totaled 70,000. The Amendment B change, the Appendix B changes to the grant detail only total 65. But it's important that they equal. So we're changing the section in Amendment 47 that talks about Appendix B only.
And as soon as we have that in hand, we'll vote on that. It's been first and seconded.
So we go like this. Then motion to amend the 1422 second reading. No, yes, second. So we got a motion to adopt.
Is today David's last official?
Motion to amend. We should make a
I know, we need to.
Did you get the notice today?
Yeah, yeah, so should we recognize it?
That he's taken the job of Public Works?
Oh, I didn't get that, I knew that Mike was, okay.
Well, no, so there's a press release when, well, first of all, we send it to you before we send it to the press.
That passed.
So,
Thank him for that, and then thank him for helping us.
and I'm gonna thank these guys for this budget process too, I think.
They can do it. Because it'll have the old pay scale until the 25th.
So is that third?
Okay. Three steps.
In the bar before
Watch
we know.
basketball.
Oh man, they weren't looking too good, man. Are you a Celtics guy? I was not.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I wasn't happy about that. I was like, what happened? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, you got kind of weapons like that and they, I know, yeah.
And I thought, yeah, they were looking good for the first 3 quarters. And then,
Is that a hard place to play in, Celtics?
It used to be.
I mean, they look like
It used to be. I mean, it was some spitting.
Right.
racist lips,
Yeah, that's what I'm
dripping-
saying. That's like
dripping with
hardcore neck tattoo, like,
nullification
yeah,
into position, just spitting. I mean, you couldn't walk and get through it. And I could spit on.
Right. That's why I love that Lakers thing. You got to come to that. It's so good, isn't it? Yeah. That's so cool that guy, that Rodney Barnes, is part of that. That's great. I love that show. Yeah. My wife doesn't even like basketball, and she loves that show. Yeah. They're like just trying to get fans in there, like so Paula Abdul cheerleaders sexing it up. You know, like, yeah. Maybe I should put.
It's not 40, no, they're waiting for the corrected 47. Sorry. We are numbering the corrected thing 47, right? Okay, that's what I thought. We just need to print now. She's just stressed because.
I know, but I was gonna go and offer to be her runner.
Oh, yeah, you can
Because I'm just here.
and the thing is, this is so better in some years, because we have this problem.
Yeah, I'm just gonna offer to be her runner.
And she feels stressed when things like this happen.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Okay. I read everything number by number. I should put that too.
So this is a Savage amendment.
So we have the technical amendments to 47 moved and seconded. They should be in front of the council. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Does this go to third reader?
And now we do four.
Could I get a motion to adopt it as amended, please?
Look at 01522
As amended. So move.
You gotta say all.
Adopt O 1522 as amended on second reader.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Could I get a motion to adopt O-15-22 on third reader?
So moved.
Second?
And that is a roll call. Mayor Buckley,
Aye.
Alderman Schneidermeyer,
Aye.
Alderman Gay,
Abstain.
What?
okay. Alderman Savage,
That's my vote.
Alderman Arnett,
Aye.
Alderwoman Tierney,
Aye.
Alderwoman O'Neill,
Aye.
Alderman Pendle Charles.
Aye.
And Alderwoman Finlay.
Aye.
You passed your budget. That
Right.
motion carried. Yay.
One's the new Fred.
Yay.
We have one more vote on.
Could we time date this?
Okay, we still
David?
have time, Mr. City Attorney, so there's still time on this.
The agenda is complete, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, I'd like to just before we move to things for good order, did someone have their hand up?
Alderman Gay.
Alderman Gay?
Awesome, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple of things for the good of the order. Where should I start? Okay, let me start first. The Annapolis High School graduation was yesterday. I was pleased to attend with my colleague, Alderwoman O'Neill, who was my saving grace because Amazon didn't deliver my gown on time. So thank you. But I'm excited for the class. It was, what's so special about Annapolis, and I graduated in 2015. Till this day, it's still one of the most diverse schools in the state. A third, in both, and it's diverse in both race and socioeconomics. And just pleased to know that those kids are going back into our community. So many of them were sharing afterwards, during the photos and stuff, their college goals and stuff. So we got a lot to look forward to and be proud of. I, in fact, was sitting next to the class president, and she wants to get into politics. And so I told her, I said, so I'm assuming you'll be a city councilor next, because we had both been class presidents, and so that's her goal. Secondly, I wanted to, obviously the news came out, David is going back to the Public Works, and I'm actually sad. Even though we have had our fair share of disagreements.
Is that a left-handed compliment?
No, I really am. I really am sad. I think that's the thing. People often mistake what we do on this dais as like hatred or no. It's obviously politics. We get emotional. I'm really sad to see you go, though. You've been a great city manager. You've helped me a lot. I felt comfortable reaching out to you. And you've helped me just get stuff done. And that's the most important thing for my constituency, and so I thank you for that very, very much. My question, I'll save it for the end, and then because I also wanted to acknowledge Kevin Simmons and the Director of Office of Emergency Management. I don't know if you looked at the dashboard, but we are down nearly 40% in overdoses in the city of Annapolis, and down, I think, 10% for fatal. And that just should be commended, not just OEM, but our police department, our fire department, Adatola, Ajayi, and the Take Care crew, everybody that, the reason why we've fought so hard for that additional money in the budget for the opioid programs is because they are effective and they do work and the numbers show. And so I just really, really called them up this week, but I just wanted to commend them publicly for that because 3 years ago, we had our highest overdose rate ever with over 125. I think it was 128 or 131. And so they should be commended, definitely.
Anybody else? City manager.
That guy over there. So I just wanted to say that today was Director Johnson's last day. So I personally want to thank him for the absolutely awesome job that he did for the city. It was way too short, but he's moving to a bigger job, which is always appealing to us public works guys. And he's going to do great at Prince George's County, but he did a great job here for the city. So thank you, Mike, for that.
And we would like to thank you, Mr. City Manager, for the excellent job that you have done and the leadership that you've shown to get us through here. We have been, you've done an amazing job through amazingly trying circumstances, I would say. And so we were lucky to have you for that time, but we are so excited that we're not going to lose you. And we truly appreciate you sticking around and seeing all these big projects that we've all made happen together here.
Yep.
And seeing them get across the line. It's going to be an exciting next 3.5 years, and we couldn't do it without you. So I want to say a huge thank you from the City Council. It's just laying on the guilt there so he doesn't leave us, change his mind. And then I want to say to Katie and Jody, I think this has been the best budget process that we've had. I want to say the way you staggered it, I think is, even though it's hard and it's trying and, you know, there's a lot of moving pieces, but I think giving the breathing room in between those amendments and a few days later to give you some time to get this done, so we are not at the end of our tether, which always seems to happen. A lot of us can't see straight at the end of 12 hours and stuff like that. The breathing room in between is a really, we commend you both. We thank you. We know how hard you work, how just a small crew do so much. So a big round of applause for you guys too. And Alderman Tierney.
Yeah, I just wanted to take the opportunity to say that this past week, I witnessed our Department of Public Works, you know, managing at least 5 water main breaks into, you know, early morning and coming back and what have you. And then also the other night, I witnessed the reaction and the response of our Annapolis Police Department to a building in the historic district. And I just want to say that anyone that discusses the option of us, I know it's probably in good intentions of fiscal responsibility, perhaps, of joining forces with the county, you just have to witness those kind of situations, and I guarantee you, you will never utter those words again. We need our own services. We have aging infrastructure. We have aging historic building inventory. We cannot gamble in those kind of reactions, and I applaud the city for addressing them, and also the help that we did get. It's the best of both, because we do get the support from the county, from the Navy, from the police. The fire came all the way from Annapolis Neck. So thank you for letting me have that opportunity to say that.
And I think the city manager, we called in people from all points to come in and help on that. So a lot of people came in from Public Works to help with the digs so that we could get to the root of the problem. And they do it without even thinking. Is that right, Mr. City
Yeah,
Manager?
we had all of our crews in, plus we called all the contractors that were available to help with that. It was a big task. So thank you.
And I know Chris Ledoux's water pressure was down for a while because he... could I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.